What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be answering the question, or telling you guys why you guys need an E90 M3. I'm driving to go pick up Brandon right now because he's going to be doing a little bit of filming for me, and then we're going to drive to some big open parking lot somewhere or try to find something and then make a cool video. So I'll see you guys when I go to pick up Brandon. Alright guys, Brandon is in the car right now. We are probably gonna go head to some empty parking lot. We're thinking about stopping by the parking lot at my school. In the meantime, we are going to listen to some glorious S65 voices. Oh man, there it is. If that's not enough to convince you guys to get one of these cars, I don't know what is. Downshift on this Corvette. That dude didn't even know what hit him. He saw this BMW coming towards him and he's like, oh, those things have 4 cylinders in them. Bunch of problems. Then I'm like, what? Yeah, crank your hog! The shifts are just so crisp. Alright guys, we are in my school's parking lot, the high school that I went to school at. They paved this huge parking lot. It's basically just a big drift pad for me. That kid down the street that's got M3s and stuff, let's pave him a big drift pad.
Probably got a sign over there that says reserved for Julian Dinino.
Yeah, Julian Dinino's parking lot.
It got a little M on it too.
Yeah, little M logo. So, if you guys don't know, this video is about why you guys need to buy an E90 M3 or an E92 an E9x M3. As you guys know, this is my 2009 E90 M3. I'm gonna tell you guys why you need to buy one. I wrote down like a cool little notes list on my phone here. Start off, these cars are probably some of the best cars in my opinion that you can get for under $50,000 to $60,000. My number one is the balance of the car. Power, handling, speed, everything, the overall package that you get is so good. You can get these cars for low 20s to even high 40s depending on what spec they are and how nice they are and how many miles they have and stuff like that. Generally, you're gonna be spending 25 to 30 to under $40,000 on one of these cars. Overall driving experience that you get, you really can't beat for that price. Somebody's gonna type in the comments oh, you can go get a BMW 340 tune and a downpipe and then it'll be this much faster. And it's yeah, that's in a straight line. I'm talking about overall pure enthusiast driving experience. I really don't think you can beat this car for the price range because the balance of the car is just so good. The handling out of the box is incredible. 50-50 weight distribution, the handling, this car is so easy to slide. Number two, this is high up on the list. This is high up on the list, is the sound. The sound of this car, like Brandon, can't you say this is one of the best parts about this car?
100%.
This is one of why these cars are known to be one of the best M3s is sound.
We'll do the sound clips right before we skedaddle.
So you guys know this is the wonderful S65. This is a 4-liter V8, dual overhead cam, ITBs, so you get incredible throttle response. It's 12-to-1 compression, so this is like a motorsports racing engine, pretty much out of the box. And it revs to, I think, 8,300 RPM stock, 83, 8,500 RPM stock. And the sound you get out of it is just incredible. which I'm sure I'm gonna throw in a bunch of different sound clips of me ripping this thing. I know I'm gonna get some comments about what exhaust setup I'm running. So for right now, test pipes in the car for the primary cat deletes, and then I have the secondary cat still in, then the stock resonators, and then a muffler delete. So just straight pipes going out to the muffler. Dude, the downshifts on this thing, just whop, whop. It doesn't get old. I drive this car almost every single day. Every single time I hit that downshift paddle, it always puts a smile on my face no matter how many times I do it.
Sound comparison, he was 5 minutes away from my house and I heard him downshifting before he came.
Yeah. Moving on to number 3, we're still gonna stay in the engine bay area, and this is gonna be surprising to many of you. I'm gonna say reliability for number 3. Number 3 is pretty high up on the list, and I don't think that many people would think that. A lot of people would say like, oh yeah, those cars are so reliable, blah, 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 because the internet blows these cars out of proportion. This is one of my biggest gripes, especially about, you know, kids on TikTok who think they're mechanics and everything, say, oh, BMW M cars are so unreliable, they're typing with their thumbs and they don't even have a driver's license, and then it blows it out of the proportion. And everybody thinks these cars are terribly unreliable. Everybody knows throttle actuators. Throttle actuator jobs aren't even that bad. And for me to go on, let me just say that I kind of like a BMW technician at a private shop. I don't work at BMW, I work at a shop that just works on European cars, mainly German cars. So BMWs, Audis, Porsches, Mercedes, stuff like that. And I mainly work on all the BMWs. So I work on a lot of these cars. I see what breaks. I know what happens with them, and these cars are way more reliable than 335s. Rod bearings is just one of the things that you have to do. That's one of the things, if you aren't doing, your engine will blow up. Like, you have to do your rod bearings, which hopefully I think next week or something like that, I should have time in a lift available to do rod bearings on this car. That's number 3, is reliability. I know there's gonna be some people that question me on that, but number 4 is gonna be mods and how many different directions you can take one of these cars when you go to build it. If you guys don't know, I'm going to be, especially over the winter, I'm gonna be slowly turning this car into more of a, kind of like a track rat, track tool focused car where I can take to the track, really learn how to drive with the car. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do this with these cars. There's a lot of people that leave these cars pretty much stock and just enjoy them stock. Or you can stance one of these cars out if you're into that. Or you can, you can literally do whatever you want with these cars because it's such a good platform. But let me give you guys a rundown on what's done to my car specifically. And the best modification that I have are these Recaro's SPG racing seats. One of the best mods you can do to any car, especially if you're driving it hard and you're taking it on back roads. For suspension, ground control, the ground control HAS kit or whatever, it goes over the stock struts. I'm getting rid of that because we are going to be upgrading all of the suspension on this car. I'm talking all solid polyurethane bushings, all solid Heim joints where a normal ball joint would be. Oh, and the exhaust. This car is an absolute ball to drive and I have very little done to it, and it's just so much fun. And that's number 4, is the mods you can get. And basically mods and aftermarket support. Number 5 is gonna be cost. Like I said at the beginning, for the price, very, very cheap. I actually got this car specifically for $18,000. I got a really good buy on it because the engine mounts on it were collapsed and the person I bought it off of didn't really know what was wrong with the car. And when you drove it, it felt like it had a terrible, horrible vibration and the car almost felt like it was coming apart. Now, the motor mounts on this car were collapsed to the point where the oil pan was actually touching the skid plate, and that's why the car was just vibrating horribly. It would drive terribly. And I pretty much called the dude and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I kind of thought it would be motor mounts. Motor mounts it was $100 fix. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I gave him an offer of 18. Then he took it. And if you guys want a car that you just want to take out and drive, I drive this car. I'm not scared of getting rock chips on it. I'm not scared of putting miles on it because I bought this car to drive, because it's not like a Ferrari where you buy it and you're concerned about putting miles on it and devaluing it. These cars are meant to be driven. Definitely top 5 things on the list is the cost and how much you can pick one of these cars up for, because it's an absolute bargain. Brandon, wouldn't you say that these cars for the money is an absolute bargain?
Oh, for sure. Off the clip they're going to see in the beginning of this video, I think the
Number 6 on the list for me, it's gonna be build quality. I just want to say the build quality of these cars, they're incredible. Everything is super stiff. Everything feels in this car, it feels like quality. But newer generation BMWs, especially F Series, their interiors are very, I don't know, I just think they're like plasticky. I feel like BMW, I don't know about the G80s that much or like the G generation cars because I haven't worked on that many, but I feel like BMW has lost their build quality in a way. Like I think the E90 generation was one of the best cars in terms of build quality. Number 7, I'm gonna go with looks. Guys, I think this car is such a good looking car. For the money, such a good looking car, such a good driving car. To me, this is such a timeless design. Such a timeless design. But I do hate these grills. These double slat, ugly ass grills. I need to get stock grills that have the little chrome ring around them and the single slat grills. I think they look so much better, so much more classier. The E90 just hasn't looked like it aged a day. Like to a lot of people that see these cars going down the road, like if you're unknowledgeable about BMWs or about cars, you can look at this car and be like, that's a fairly new car. Like most people think this is only a 5-year-old car. Just how like, especially if you get an LCI, this car is an LCI. The LCIs came out in late 2009. They have better looking taillights. My taillights are kind of hazy, but they updated their taillights a little bit. They made a couple like small tweaks, like in the interior with the iDrive system, in the headlights and the taillights, and I really think it made the car just have that much better of a touch. Definitely number 7 is looks. Looks and still looking within the times that, you know, you're driving this car around in. Next video is my review on a Nissan Murano. Is that what that's called?
Yep.
Man, those things are ugly. Like, come on, guys, just buy cool cars. Like, everybody, look, I think if everybody would be driving around like some M cars, you know, like moms would be driving around like X5Ms and stuff like that, like, I think the world would just be a better place. We're being rudely interrupted by construction. Do they not know I'm trying to film a video?
God fucking damn it.
Were they not informed?
What are they even doing? Like, what are they building now?
They're adding a second story.
They probably already hear that though.
Yeah, they're probably gonna hear that. All right.
Do like some cinematics.
Yeah. Brandon's gonna get on the cinematic right now. Last up on my list, I only have 8 things. I thought I had 10 things for some reason. I mean, I could make a list. Brandon knows, because I talk his ear off about these cars all the time. I could make a list of 50 reasons why to buy these cars.
You can make a document.
In the first 20 would just be the engine. 8 on my list. It's gonna be the DCT. Now, I got a lot of comments and a lot of people DM me on Instagram when I first bought this car. If you guys aren't following my Instagram, you're doing something wrong. And this is gonna be towards the end of this video, and if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you're doing something wrong. Like, come on, guys. And if you aren't following Brandon on Instagram, you're doing something wrong. Many people DM'd me, many people asked me, many people commented, many people sent me
mail.
I got mail like from different countries. I even got, people were even faxing me.
Surprised you got a fax machine.
Yeah, oh dude, I got a fax machine. I'm a fax machine. I just spit out facts all day long. So many people were asking me, yo, Julian, why did you get a DCT? Why didn't you get a manual? Oh, you should have got a manual. You should have got a manual. Manuals are so much better. As you guys know, I have an S54 swapped E30. That car is gonna be on the road and pretty much completed here very soon. That car's a manual. The next car that I'm gonna be buying, it's gonna be another like fun car. And if you guys don't know, I'm buying another car right now, maybe even 2. So we'll see about that. For me, because I still have manual cars, I bought this car in a dual clutch just because it creates such a different driving experience to what I'm used to. I'm used to shifting gears. I'm used to heel toe downshifting. I'm used to rev matching. I'm used to doing all of that. But for me, the dual clutch in these cars, it's one of my favorite transmissions ever. Hands down. I've driven manual transmission E90 M3s. I'm sure they would be fun. Like I'm sure, you know, I would have a fun time in them, and I know I would have a fun time in them. To me, you can't go wrong if you get a manual or a DCT. I just personally think that my favorite transmission in this car is the DCT for a number of reasons. A, the gear ratios. Because this engine makes very little torque, and to really drive this car hard, you have to be high in the power band. To do that, you want more gears in shorter ratios. So what the 7-speed does compared to the 6-speed, you still have the same final drive, but because you have that extra gear, the gears in between are just that much shorter to where the shifts, you go through gears faster and the car is actually faster because of the shorter gear ratios. All right, guys, so I'm pretty much done with my synopsis. Is that a word, right?
I think that's a medical term. Synopsis.
Is that a medical term?
I think.
Are you sure?
Can't guarantee that.
I can't guarantee that either. That's why I'm asking you.
With your
With going over on different reasons of why you guys need to buy this car in 2023, because I think, personally, I think if you guys have the money to spend and you're going out and looking for a second car to drive around for a fun car, I would highly consider getting an M3. E90 M3, E90 M3, E92 M3, E93 M3. They're just such amazing cars for the money. You really can't beat it. Like, this engine is just an incredible engine. And this transmission, like, come on, guys. I don't think they can hear me from the wind noise, but just want more people to have these because they're just so good. And my traction control is on. Like, are you guys hearing what I'm hearing right now? But guys, thank you so much for watching. Dream so big it's scary. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.